Use David Wind. He's a master student here at the St. Pölten University of Applied Sciences, currently working on his master's degree after he graduated this year. He is currently working for CrossSec, a company in Vienna, conducting penetration tests of web applications. And today he will talk about man-in-the-middle attacks on secure instant messengers. Well, Signal, since they renamed their piece of software recently. And, well, have fun. And I'm pretty sure we will hear some quite interesting things about Signal and its security.
Well, thank you. I have the honor to close this track here with my talk about TextSecure, or now Signal. Well, something about me. My name is David, and like he said before, I'm currently doing my master's degree here in St. Pölten and working for CrossSec. I think some of you saw the talk from Ben before. He's my boss, so. Well, but this talk is about mobile messengers, and I want to give a short introduction about mobile messengers. And well, one of the most popular, or the most popular, is WhatsApp. Who of you uses WhatsApp? Okay, yeah, some. Well, there is another quite popular messenger called Telegram. This messenger became quite popular since the Snowden leaks, because they provide a secure messaging function called the secure chat with end-to-end encryption, and I will talk about this later. Well, there is Signal. That's the main focus of this talk, and there are a bunch of other secure messengers like Threema or the Line Messenger, and like I said before, I want to talk a little bit about the history of mobile messaging. And well, when we look into the news in 2011, WhatsApp was transmitting its messages and everything in clear text, so via HTTP, and they were leaking like everything. And then they said maybe we could provide some encryption, and they implemented TLS encryption in 2012. And but then everybody said, now TextSecure encrypts the messages and everything is secure. And well, then he came and said, well, the NSA is spying on everybody of us, and they have access to the servers of big companies, and they can just access them and read all the messages. So, well, the client to server encryption is quite useless if they have access to the server. Well, this program is called Prism. I think everybody of you heard of this. And part of this program is Facebook and YouTube and Skype and all the big companies. But well, WhatsApp is not part of this program, so well, our messages are safe. No problem, right? Well, no. He came and said, well, let's buy WhatsApp. And well, like we said, as I have seen before, Facebook is part of the PRISM program. So now we're fucked. Everybody should stop using WhatsApp. Many switch to alternatives like Signal or Telegram. But then Open Whisper Systems came and said, well, let's cooperate with WhatsApp and implement end-to-end encryption. And well, now everything is fine, all right? Well, no, because there is no way to verify if end-to-end encryption is used in WhatsApp. There is no way to verify if the other party I'm chatting with is really the other one. And it's still closed source software, so well, they can say whatever they want. When I'm verifying another guy, they can just say, yeah, it's fine all the time. We can't verify it until we look into the source code. So well, that's it for history, but I want to talk a little bit about the scenario, so what this man-in-the-middle attack is about. So I'm sorry, but I'm not presenting a 0-day today about, well, bypassing certificate pinning or something. The scenario is that certificate pinning is turned off, and that I have access to the messages, and that to the encrypted messages, and well, that I'm man-in-the-middling this connection, and I say that I am man-in-the-middling from the first key exchange onwards. So, well, because otherwise there would be an error message, and TextSecure or Signal would recognize the attack. Yeah, that's the scenario. What are possible scenarios to bypass the certificate pinning in a real-world scenario? Well, there is for example, if the TextSecure server is compromised, that would be a quite plausible scenario. And maybe I thought about this, and I would love to discuss that with somebody of you. SSL or TLS vulnerabilities. So if it would be possible to get the decryption key or part of the decryption key, so that I can maybe read and or modify the ciphertext, then I maybe would be it would be possible to modify the ciphertext without bypassing the certificate pinning protection. So, well, that's the scenarios, and maybe there are other. When you have ideas, would love to discuss it by a beer at the bar. So, well, that's the most important sentence or the most important slide, I think, in the whole presentation. Verify your contacts. So you will see it in I'm showing you a live demo afterwards, and if you verify your contacts, then you can be quite sure that no man-in-the-middle attack took place. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Signal and the protocol of Signal, which they are using for providing the end-to-end encryption feature. So Signal got quite popular the last few months, or the last 2 years since Snowden. Downloads between 1 and 5 million, and yeah, that's quite good. But in comparison to WhatsApp with 1 billion plus downloads, it's not that much. But yeah, they provide end-to-end encrypted messaging. It's asynchronous messaging protocol. I will explain that in a minute. They use the Moxie ratchet, and it's open source. So that's the nice thing about Signal. Well, what's the difference between synchron and asynchron messaging? So synchron messaging, it's like OTR. The downside of synchron messaging is that the other party has to be online to be able to exchange a key. So that's not very good for unreliable connections like mobile connections. So I think everybody of you saw that when he's using Jabber or something like this, when the other party is not online or has a bad connection, you're not able to exchange a key, and you're not able to start a private chat. Well, asynchronous messaging or Signal uses so-called pre-keys, and I will explain the pre-keys afterwards. The user is able to exchange a key even if the other party is offline. So he's able to calculate a secret via Diffie-Hellman key exchange even if the other party is offline. So that's the good thing about Signal and asynchronous messaging. So, well, but what about those pre-keys? And a pre-key is a key exchange message, and Signal calculates them when you register with the TextSecure with the Signal server, and they generate 100 of them at registration time and upload them to the server. And those are just asymmetric ephemeral key pairs, and they are indexed by a pre-key ID. So, yeah, let's get into the registration. So, how does this work? Well, when Alice wants to register with TextSecure or Signal, well, now it's called Signal, yeah. They send Alice sends a request for a verification code, and then the server answers with a verification code. Alice sends it back to the server. The server recognizes this and says, "Okay, well, everything's fine." And then Alice generates those pre-keys and uploads them to the server. And then TextSecure uses Signal uses Google Cloud Messaging to route the messages through the internet. So the client or Alice has to register with Google. So Alice sends a request to the Google Cloud Messaging server and gets a so-called registration ID. And then Alice sends this registration ID plus a secret password to the TextSecure server, and TextSecure saves this, and then TextSecure knows, okay, this Google registration ID and this authentication string belong together. And then Alice is uploading the hash contacts to TextSecure so that they know which users of the phone book of Alice also have the service installed. So that's a so-called pre-key bundle. So this is the interesting part. A pre-key bundle contains a pre-key with an ID and a public key, then a registration ID, which is unique per user, and a so-called signed pre-key. So there are 100 of those pre-keys. There is one signed pre-key, which is signed with the private identity key of the user. So so an attacker would not be able to fake the signed pre-key if he hasn't got the private identity key. So that's a security feature, and this signed pre-key is required in order to calculate a secret and in order to start an encrypted session with the other party. So, well, how does this work if Alice wants to send a message to Bob? Well, Alice requests a pre-key of the server from Bob, and Alice gets one, and then Alice calculates a secret with a triple Diffie-Hellman. I will explain that in a minute. And then Alice calculates an encryption key and a MAC key in order to provide the authenticity of the message. Then Alice encrypts the message and MACs it, and then Alice sends the message to the server. So then TextSecure, or the server, checks if the registration ID really belongs to the correct user, so to Bob in this example. Encrypts the message again, so they do that in order that for privacy reasons. So they encrypt the message again so that Google is not able to see the destination number. So Google will never see the destination number of Bob. Google will only see the Google registration ID, which I mentioned before. So yeah, and then TextSecure, the server calculates a MAC over the whole message. Then the server sends the message, and well, then Bob receives the message. So that's how sending a message works. And yeah, okay, Bob checks the MAC, calculates the decryption keys, and then decrypts the message. Yeah, so how does Alice calculate this secret? So Alice needs at least 3 different things. So Alice needs the signed pre-key, which I mentioned before. Alice needs the an identity key, and Alice needs a base key, which is just a newly generated ephemeral key pair. So Alice needs the private one. And if present, so it's not mandatory, Alice needs a one-time pre-key. So that's one of these 100 generated pre-keys, which I mentioned before at the registration. So that's what's needed for calculating a secret. And if Alice is able to calculate the secret, Alice is able to start an encrypted chat with Bob. So, well, but this talk is actually about man-in-the-middling. So, well, how to man-in-the-middle? Well, the easiest way is just to attack the pre-key exchange. So, how could this work? Yeah, a little bit about the setup. So I got 3 smartphones, so 2 client smartphones, which are Alice and Bob, and 1 attacker smartphone. And the attacker smartphone is just a smartphone which is running a modified version of Signal, and which just decrypts the intercepted messages for me, so that I don't have to code the decryption algorithm myself. Yeah, in order to bypass the certificate pinning, I used the SSL trust killer. I used man-in-the-middle proxy, which is a command line man-in-the-middle proxy written in Python, and a custom inline script also written in Python, which automatically intercepts the messages for me and the pre-key requests. And I used I wrote a small Python HTTP server plus a SQLite database, and I need this because I have to be able to communicate between the attacker smartphone and my laptop. So the proxy is running on my laptop, and the messages are sent to my attacker smartphone, and my attacker smartphone has to be able to communicate with my laptop. And well, in the database, everything is stored, the intercepted messages and timestamps and so on. So, yeah, how could this man-in-the-middle work? So, when this is the attacker, Mallory, and Alice wants to exchange a key with Bob. Okay. Mallory intercepts this pre-key request and just returns a pre-key bundle of Mallory itself. So Mallory returns the pre-key bundle, and then Alice says, yeah, okay, that's a pre-key of Bob, and stores the pre-key of Mallory with the ID of Bob. And well, the same thing happens with with Bob. So Bob wants to exchange a pre-key with Alice, and Mallory intercepts it and returns the pre-key of Mallory. So, well, that's the final, or at least a preview of the final procedure of the man-in-the-middle attack. So when Alice, so Mallory is the attacker, and here Mallory is the proxy and the modified TextSecure application. So my laptop and the attacker smartphone. So when Alice wants to send a message to Bob, Alice requests a pre-key from Bob, then this gets to TextSecure, and then TextSecure sends a pre-key to Bob, and Mallory intercepts this message. Mallory exchanges it and sends it to Alice. So now Alice calculates a secret and so on, and sends the message. Now the proxy modifies the request, and what the proxy does here is that he just modifies the destination telephone number. So the proxy exchanges the telephone number of which is now Bob's with the telephone number of Mallory, so that the TextSecure application gets the intercepted message. Then TextSecure receives it and forwards it to Google, and then Google sends it to Mallory. Well, now Mallory is able to decrypt the message because, well, Alice calculated the secret with the private keys of Mallory because we exchanged it. And then Mallory creates a new message with the destination of Bob, so that Bob actually receives the message. And then Mallory sends the message to the Signal server, and Signal sends it to Google, and then Bob receives the message. And yeah, that's how it could work, or well, how it works. That's just a short overview about the program I wrote for this man-in-the-middle attack. So I separated this into intercept the pre-keys and the messages. So I'm just waiting if for a pre-key request, requesting a new pre-key for Mallory, and then exchange it. And the messages, I check if the sender is the attacker. Is not the attacker. If the sender is not the attacker, I change the message recipient to the attacker, and if it's the attacker which is sending the message, I'm spoofing the origin of the message so that it's the new message which Mallory created, the source is not Mallory itself. So the origin of a message is defined by a basic authentication string. That's the secret password I mentioned at the beginning. And because I'm in a man-in-the-middle position, I am able to intercept all these secrets, and I'm also able to exchange them. So it looks like that Alice is sending this message and not Mallory. Yeah. I hope this was not too fast. Well, if Alice and Bob would compare the fingerprints, well, that's why I said it's very important to compare the fingerprints, this error message would appear. So TextSecure would recognize the man-in-the-middle attack, and yeah, maybe most of us, or most of the normal users would just say, okay, well, don't know what this means, just continue. Yeah, but TextSecure would recognize it. Well, so just to sum this up a little bit, how would the automated attack work? Well, the proxy saves the source of the message, the destination of the message, and the timestamp to the database. Then the TextSecure application gets the original destination of the database, and well, the TextSecure application requests this over the HTTP server. Then the application creates a new message and saves the decrypted data and the new timestamp and everything to the database. And then the proxy intercepts the new message, which was created by Mallory, and requests the original source of the message, so that the proxy is able to spoof the origin of the newly generated message. Then the proxy forwards the message, and then we have fun. Yeah. Now it's demo time, and I hope it works, because I have some problems with the internet, and I hope that my mobile internet is working. So now I need 2 of you guys, because you have to send messages which I can intercept. So I got 2 smartphones here. Maybe one for you. And you, maybe? Or you, yeah. Okay. So the setup of this is you're all in the same WLAN, and there is a signal installed, and there should be one of you should be Bob and one of you should be Alice. And now you have to wait a second. So, well, normally, have you already sent a message or no? Yeah, maybe you could try it. It should work if the clients have internet. Well, so that's just a log output here, so it's still in the beta phase. Yeah, no. So now I should intercept. Yeah, I just intercepted the message here, and this message gets forwarded to the original sender recipient, and the database can be viewed via the web application, and here we can see that this source, which was Bob or which was Alice, said hey Alice, and the other one wrote hello. So I think this was correct. Do you got the message of the other one? Yeah, great. So, well, it was working, nice. Yeah, to sum this up, verify each other, because if you two would verify each other now, you would see that you got intercepted. So maybe you can try this later. And I think Signal or Open Whisper systems should think about a verification status. So like Threema or Java has it implemented, and I think there is also there is already a feature request, and I think they are working on it. But to sum it up, you should use Signal or TextSecure or however it is called. It's open source, it provides end-to-end encrypted messaging, and it's really easy to use. So I use it, and many of my colleagues use it, are using it. So yeah, really nice app. So thank you, and I hope there are questions. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, just to be clear, so both of the Android phones were rooted, right? So you could modify the trust store. So the threat model is if you can root a mobile phone, you already have root on it, and you can install malware anywhere. And the second thing is, this will only work on the first flag, right? TextSecure uses trust on first use. So if you intercept the very first message, this would work. But every message that is coming afterwards, you will instantly see a verification failure in your UI.
Well, so to the first question, a scenario would be to have root or would have a malicious app on the Android phone installed.
Then you already have root on the fucking phone, and why do you want to
Yeah, that's what I want to say. So if you would have access to the server, like I said, you don't need to bypass the certificate pinning, because I would be able to manipulate the pre-keys on the server. So I just wanted to point out that when somebody says, hey, we provide end-to-end encryption, and we are not able to attack you if we have full access on the server, that's just not true, because they could intercept you on the server, and they could manipulate the pre-keys on the server. And yeah. What? Sorry.
Did you look at the Signal TextSecure server implementation as well?
No, that would be future work. Yeah.
Okay. Because
To
they
the
pretty much deal with this in the way that like the server is implemented.
okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's really nice work, but it works like in a lab environment and on first flight.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, on the first interception. Yeah. Of course, you would see it if it's not on the if it's intercepted on the second request or something. But well, I think it's like a certificate warning in the browser. So maybe 50% or less. I don't know. It would be really nice to try it with a lot of people, and just to intercept them and have a look what they are doing. I think that some normal users would just say, okay, verify and let me continue. But
also these days doing is basically usability security. So modern Chrome installation basically say go fuck yourself if you don't have a valid certificate. And that's the way to go for Signal as well. And I think they're pretty much doing this.
yeah.
That one big problem is key rollover, but that's the same thing with every protocol. And there is a nice solution for that in OpenSSH now. That we can also do key rollover in OpenSSH. I think it's maybe something that Signal could do.
Yeah.
I can go on for hours about this.
Okay. Yeah. Should have a beer together. Yeah. Okay. Other questions? Yeah.
Could you just go back to the page you just showed previously? We want to try something. No, web browser, where you see
Ah.
messages.
Yeah.
So it doesn't show pictures yet.
No. No, not yet. No.
Did you try escaping?
Yeah, that future work. Yeah. Okay. Something else? Okay. Thank you.